Hello, hi everyone, Hannah here. So I was going to put like a post out as I try to do during the week and stuff with things that I've learned and stuff like that, but I decided today to do a bit of a video. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, to be honest. It's a little bit... Sorry, I paused weirdly because I'm walking outside in the dark. That's why it's really dark. So I don't know how much longer you guys are going to be able to see me for. Probably not much, but you'll be able to hear me. And I'm walking in the rain, as you do. I just love walking in the rain. I don't know, I have this thing with walking at night in the rain. Well, let me start that again. I really enjoy walking at night. Something, I don't know, just something about it that, I don't know, I get my greatest inspiration, and I don't know, I just really enjoy it. And then, I don't know, there's something about gentle rain as well. For me, it's makes everything even more magical. I know it's a bit strange, but that's just me. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We are walking in the dark and it's raining. But I love it. Anyways, not 100% sure what I'm going to exactly talk about. I'll probably just start rambling about something and go from there. If I randomly pause at any times or go a bit quiet, it's because it's a bit awkward talking to a camera when people look at you. So, yeah. Like just then, I had this person just look at me, a bit funny, and it's a bit weird. Because it does look a bit crazy where you're just staring at a camera and just talking. Or people can just hear you talking and don't really realise that you're actually talking to a camera, which is even weirder. Yeah, I'll try to keep the camera a bit still, but my arm gets a little bit sore and makes things a bit tricky. Sorry, I just stopped talking then. Because this random car pulled over. It's freaky, but anyways. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and ignore other distractions and just talk like a normal person. Oops. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about was, I know for a lot of us, we think 2020 has been a really horrible year because of coronavirus, and a lot of us have had to put our plans on hold and things like that. But for me, 2020 has actually been a good year for me, actually. Maybe I should say that again. Just a year of learning, a year of change. That's the word I'm going to use, change. So it was pretty much the beginning of this year I said, right, I'm going to really take my dreams seriously and really do my best this year to, do what I can to get myself closer towards my dreams and reaching my goals. And that's what I have been doing. And since I've sort of been since I've been really focusing on that, I have been seeing crazy changes, like things that I did not think was really possible, or things in my life that I don't think would ever change or I would ever change, but I changed. such as with Duke, for example. For those of you who don't know, Duke was my first ever horse I got. Like I owned myself, that sort of thing. I got him about 7 years ago, nearly 8 years ago, through a program that retrained off the track thoroughbreds and then sold them on as riding horses. So I got him as a 7-year-old. To be honest, I got him thinking I was better of a rub. Like when I got him, I thought I was a better rider and more knowledgeable than what I actually was. So I sort of had to learn the hard way. Hence why it took me like 7 years to get him to a stage where I felt like we could do something. And when I say do something, I meant like start to do some actual dressage things. Like we started to do our leg yields, we were doing our walk to canters, not very precisely. Sorry, this might be a bit loud, we're just crossing a main road. Look left and right. Yeah, like it took us like 7 years for me to be able to do leg yields on him, walk to canters. Don't know how precise our walk to canters are, but we were doing it. I couldn't go from canter to walk. I tried a few times and I couldn't know how to train it and it just was horrible. But we got walk to canter, got our leg yields. We were doing a bit of shoulder four, so we were getting shoulder four. Again, probably not very good. Like if I went to a dressage test, I'd probably get a 4 for it. But hey, we were doing it. And little things like that, I was like, wow, we're actually doing some of our laterals. How cool is that? Yeah. So I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so I sold him. So I sold him after 7 years, nearly 8 years. And that was something I never thought I would ever do. Like I remember when I first got him, I made this promise. I don't know, I've never said this to anyone, but I made this promise to him that like he would always have a forever home with me. I'd never sell him on. And so like he was always safe with me. And so I guess like I fought for all those years to make sure that I didn't go back on that promise. And so like when this year I made the decision to sell him, it was really hard because I felt like I was going back on that promise I had made to him. Now the reason why I decided to sell him or find him a new home, however you want to put it, was because I realised if I wanted to chase my dreams and learn more about dressage and go up the levels and things like that, Duke wasn't going to cut it. And actually leading up to selling him, I was having a few soundness problems and things like that. So obviously he can't be a dressage horse if he's having soundness issues and that sort of thing. So it was a tough decision, but it was something I knew I needed to do. Like if I was going to chase my dreams and move up in dressage, Duke wasn't the horse to do it, and he didn't want to do it either. And for me to keep pushing him, look, I was trying to do, this is going to sound really horrible, but I was so like, no, he's going to be okay, he'll be my dressage horse forever, that I was asking him to do lateral work when he wasn't right. Like, it started off being minor soundness issues, but then I kept pushing on with it, just putting my blinkers on basically, pretending it wasn't there. And it just got worse and worse to the point where every second day he was coming up like lame, and not lame as in like when he walks you can see he's lame, but in the trot and on a tight circle you could see he wasn't right. And yeah, I feel bad. Like I sort of go into this mindset of, oh my gosh, I wrecked Duke and that sort of thing. And it's hard because I feel like I sort of did, but then at the same time, I don't know what exactly caused the lameness, whether I pushed him too hard or whether he was always forever not right, and just when I pushed him up through the dressage things, it just brought it up. I don't really know, because I'm not educated enough to know. I don't really know where it went wrong. So yeah, I don't know. So it was a hard decision to sell him, and what made it harder was I was trying to sell or rehome a horse that was not sound. And my concern there was I knew he couldn't stay with me, because if he stayed with me, I couldn't, eventually get another horse, because I can't afford more than one horse at the moment. And it also meant that I couldn't go and travel here and there and improve my riding, because I'd have to be located where I am now, because I have to look after him. And so I knew he had to go, but I don't know, if anyone has ever tried to rehome or sell a horse that's not sound, it's hard. Because I knew, honestly, he'd probably be better off being completely retired, like to a paddock, or doing light trail rides, and maybe the odd prep test here and there, which prep just has walk and trot in it, basically, and it's easy. So that was like the tricky part. But lucky for me, I found an amazing home for him. They honestly just want to trail ride. They probably ride him once, maybe twice a week, if not that. You could say he's basically retired anyways, because they don't ride him that much, and when they do, they mainly walk. And they just wanted a horse that could give them, a bit of a confidence boost for their riding, and that's exactly what he is. He's dead quiet. He doesn't spook. I shouldn't say he doesn't spook. All horses will spook at some stage, but he's never done anything big or dramatic. Like, if he shies, he'll take one odd step to the side and then carry on like nothing ever happened. Like, he doesn't carry it on, so that's what makes him safe. So he's great like that. So he's very good, like a very good confidence booster. I just still wish that he wasn't unsound though, but it's okay. Like, he's pretty much, as I said, he's pretty much semi-retired at this place. Harley gets worked, and as I said, like, they're very well aware of the unsoundness issues, because I did make that very clear to them when they came and looked at him. And actually, the day they came and looked at him, he was the most unsound he's ever been, like really bad. Like, I could feel it when I was, riding him first, and I was a bit like, oh, why on this day do you have to be this unsound? But in a way, it was a blessing, because then they got to see him at his worst. And yeah, anyway, they liked him. They loved the confidence he gave them, and that sort of thing. And no, they send me updates, and he seems really happy. He's got a friend out there, like another big thoroughbred that he hangs around, and they seem happy. Just to clarify, when I say unsound, it's not like he's limping or anything, but he's just not, I don't know what's the way to say it. He's not like in pain, if that makes sense. It's just, I don't know, probably digging a hole for myself trying to explain it. But basically, he's happy. I can assure you he's happy. And he's happy living his life. And yeah, so anyway, that worked out for the best. And yeah, so that was one big change, I guess, that has happened this year that I didn't think would ever happen. Another thing that happened this year, well, I don't know, so that's a big change. Another big change, I think, that's happening, well, I don't know, I can't really say, but I can only tell you that there is another big change that's going to happen. There's another big change that's going to happen in my life. I can't really say much about it at the moment until it actually happens, but only because I'm still feeling a little bit like I'm not really sure if I'm going to go through it or not. I think I will. And the reason why I'm not too sure is only because I'm a little bit scared, because if I make this change to my life, I can't predict the future of what that change will be. Like, I can't predict what will happen, and I get scared that if I make this change, am I like, what's the word? Cutting off my nose to spite my face. That's basically all I can say. If I make this change, will I be putting myself in a situation that's not helpful to me? If that makes sense? Like, it can go either two ways, this decision. It can be great and really help me on my journey, or it can go the opposite and be absolutely terrible, basically. And I'm just sort of wondering I don't know. I'm just sort of wondering where I'm better off going. I don't know. I know I'm doing a lot of rambling. Talking out loud helps me think. It's like me talking out is me thinking out loud. But yeah, I'm going to turn around and walk back, because I walk down some dark streets down here and that freaks me out. Yeah, so... By the way, I'm just thinking at the same time, I'm not 100% too sure if I should have spoken about Duke and that sort of thing, because I'm just going to be honest. Me talking to you about, how he went a bit unsound with me and that sort of thing, it's scaring me because I don't want to be judged for it or be told that I'm a terrible person and that sort of thing, because oh my God, I'm getting teary talking about it, but I obviously, loved Duke and I still love him, and I don't know, I still feel very guilty, even though I can't say if it was me or whether just the harder work sort of like brought up issues that were already there from, racing or anything. I don't really know. Sorry, I get too emotional thinking about it. He's always been paddock sound. I think also where he was kept at the time, the hard ground, also brought up some old injury stuff and things like that. I don't know. Sorry, I think that's all I'm going to talk about, because I get too emotional bringing it up. But please know that I have always loved that horse, and the new owners have kindly kept me in the loop with how he's going. They love him. They send me pictures. He's in like a paddock with a friend full of lush grass. As I said, he gets ridden maybe once a week, mainly walking. And yeah, they have not had a problem with him. They adore him. So, that's great. Anyway, yeah, so sorry, I'm going to go back on to, so that was obviously, as I said, one big change has been made this year. The next big change, you guys will know about it, because I will let you know when it's happened. At the moment, as I said, I'm not 100% too sure. You know what? That's a lie. I do know that I need to make the decision, and I know what decision I'm going to make. It's just when I'm going to do it. I'm procrastinating on the idea a little bit as to whether I make the decision or not, because it can go either one of two ways. It can either, what's the word? okay, the reason why I'm unsure about it is because I can't predict my future if I make the decision. It can either lead me to new opportunities to improve my writing, or it can put me in a place that isn't so helpful. And that scares me because I obviously don't want to be in a place that's not so helpful, because it's an uncomfortable place to be in. But at the same time, I know if I don't make the decision, I'm going to stay where I am and nothing is going to change. And I'm not going to get anywhere closer to what I want to do with my life. So yes, I do know the decision needs to be made. I'm just procrastinating a little bit out of fear of being burnt along the way. But if there's anything I have learned, been learning this year, is that now I've never been into the spiritual thing. I tried for a while because I had a few friends who were doing all the crystal stuff and, you know, who believe in like the crystal magic and things like that. And I tried it for a bit just to see if it was something that I resonated with, but I don't. I seriously don't. What I do believe though, there's something I do take away from it that I do believe, is that you do have to put faith in the universe and trust the universe. That's what I believe. Like, I believe everything in your life happens for a reason, and what is meant to happen will happen either way. It's just a question of how it happens. So, you know, for example, when I, rehomed Duke, I went on I was forced a little bit because I came to the stage where nothing was changing and things were going bad. Not with him, as to say, but I was feeling like, what am I doing with my life sort of thing? I'm not getting anywhere. But when I took that leap of faith to sell him and he got sold and I saw him get taken away in the float, it was literally that day I started to get offered new opportunities. Like, I got offered at least 3 different horses that I could start riding. And when I had Duke for months, and, I was having issues where I wasn't really riding him because, I couldn't, for his happiness and his health, I couldn't ride him. And I was never given an opportunity of another horse to ride. And so basically what I'm trying to say is when I took that leap of faith and, trusted that the universe, will sort everything out for me, that is when the opportunities came to me. And that was magic. And as I say, I'm not into the spiritual stuff, but I do believe that what's meant to happen will happen, and the universe will provide you with what is needed. So I think with making this other big decision that I know I've got to make, I've got to just encourage myself and tell myself just to trust the universe, that it will work itself out. That by me making that decision, opportunities will present itself to me that'll help me. I've just got to like let go of the feeling of me needing to know exactly what's going to happen, and just trust that things will sort itself out. Sorry if I keep looking behind. I'm sort of walking on the road, as I need to make sure I'm not going to get like ran over. I'll go onto the side now so I can talk. So I've just got to trust that the universe will look after me, basically. And as I said, like, if I don't make this decision, nothing is going to change at all. At least if I make the decision, things will change, whether it goes good or bad. At least something's changing. But I guess I shouldn't be thinking about what if it goes bad. I've just got to trust that, the universe has a plan for me. The universe is on side. They know, the universe is aware of what I want to achieve, and the universe is there and helping me. I've just got to, trust that the universe will help provide me with what I need to help me achieve and succeed. But as I said, that's easier said than done, because, humans naturally, we want to have full control. And giving that control to another power, a power sometimes that you're not 100% sure even exists, is a little bit scary. It's sort of like, taking your hands off the wheel in a car and expecting the air to drive the car. You know what I mean? You don't really want to give that control because you're like, don't really know if you're there and if you're going to do it properly. But yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit scary, but I guess a bit exciting at the same time. Trust me, you'll know what decision or what change that is, because once it's been made, I will fill you guys in on it. I just don't want to fill you guys in on it now, because this decision, I guess for others in my life, can be a little bit, I don't know, is controversial, you know the word I'm trying to say. I don't know if that's the word to describe it. I'm doing, I don't know, potentially the decision I'm going to make is going to upset some people, potentially. And I don't like upsetting people, but I don't know, if there's one thing, I've been starting to learn, is that I've got to stop worrying about upsetting others and think, that's not the word. So I can't continuously live my life to help others live their life, if that makes sense, because then I'm wasting my own life. I don't know how to explain it, but in a way it's a little bit about me thinking about putting myself first rather than others. Now, I'm not talking about, doing it in a selfish, nasty way, if that makes sense. But I'm talking about, this all relates to making sure that I can live my dreams rather than worrying about upsetting other people who basically are trying to tell me that I can't. Basically. I'm rambling on again, aren't I? My bad. I do that a lot. Yeah, but as I said, I will let you guys know when that decision is made. As I said, it potentially is going to upset a few people, which is why I can't tell you now until I've made it. Yeah, but what can you do? You can't please everyone. And again, as I said, if I don't make this decision, I'm going to be really unhappy, basically. So it needs to be made, despite how this might upset a few other people that I made that decision. Sort of like when I decided to sell Duke, there are a few people who are upset by me making that decision, who will be like, don't sell him, that sort of thing, for various reasons. Some of them weren't in the Duke's best interest or my best interest about why they wanted me to keep him. There were other reasons behind it. But I upset a few people with my decision to sell him, which obviously I wanted to avoid, but it couldn't be avoided. I tried to do it in the nicest way possible and let them know that was what's happening. But it couldn't be avoided. And at the end of the day, I had to do what was best for me and best for Duke and that sort of thing. And that's basically what this decision that I have to make now is going to do. But I have to do what's best for me at the end of the day, despite how it might upset a few people. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I've been talking for nearly 30 minutes straight. This is going to be an interesting video for me to watch back in a few minutes, because I hope I actually spoke about something that was actually helpful. Well, I guess. If there's anything you're going to take from this video today, guys, what is it? I don't even know what I spoke about. I just rambled. Probably trust the universe has your back. That's probably one thing. And don't be afraid to make tough decisions. Don't be afraid to make decisions that are in your best interest to help you achieve your dreams and the life you want to create. Even if it means you're going to upset a few people along the way. And And not in the means you're going to hurt them in a bad way or that sort of stuff, but because they're not going, you know what? People get upset with the decisions you make because they don't want you to change and evolve into this different person, because it means you're leaving them behind, if that makes sense. So in that regards, don't be afraid to make decisions that are going to help develop you as a person and help you move along your journey, even if it means leaving a few people behind and those people getting upset because you are leaving them behind in that regards. At the end of the day, you have to look after you, and that's the most important thing. Anyway, hope that helps, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.